Hello, friends, and welcome to Pathologic Volume 12, Episode 17. I hope you are spending today surrounded by the people who are most important to you. And today, we will be solving a puzzle called Nurimisaki. It has that Nuri prefix that it shares with Nurikabe. I'm not entirely sure what that signifies, although it might have to do with the 2x2 restriction that we will see here as well as in some of those other genres. Let's see if we can tease that out further as we take a look at the rules. In Nurimisaki, we shade some cells so that the remaining unshaded cells form one orthogonally connected area. That means that in our solution, we can travel from any unshaded cell to any other unshaded cell by traveling horizontally and vertically through that area. No 2x2 region may be entirely shaded or unshaded. We can't have this being a full 2x2. We have one unshaded cell in there. Likewise here we have at least one shaded cell. Circles mark every instance of a cell which is unshaded and orthogonally adjacent to exactly one other unshaded cell. That is a way of describing a dead end. If you look at the solution, we have these dead ends in the puzzle. Each one of them has a circle. Has a negative constraint, so we cannot have any dead ends that don't have a circle, and we can't have any circles that aren't dead ends. If a circle contains a number, it indicates how many cells are in the straight line of unshaded cells coming out of the cell with the circle, including itself. So it's how many cells can they see. So this 5 can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unshaded cells in a line. It does not matter that there are things that branch off along the way. It's looking in a straight line. Those are the rules of Nurimisaki, so it's time to solve a puzzle. This Nurimisaki was set by Shye. I see some 5s and 2s, and big numbers and little numbers are most useful, and I think 2 is the smallest number we could see in this puzzle because these would have to be dead ends and they have to go somewhere. So 2 is the smallest we can get, but I don't know how useful that is here. I think the 5s are going to be more useful. The top left corner, I see that this has to be the dead end of something that either is going 5 this way or 5 this way. But I believe that if it were vertical, that would be a problem, because that would mean that this is not a dead end, and it must be. So this has to be a horizontal 5. And we can mark this as the end of what it can see, and we can mark this because we know it's a dead end. So we get that. And the 2 is done because it sees a cell, so it can't see any others. So now this is going to escape through here somehow. This 5 can't go west. There's not enough room, so it's going to go south. Right to there. That forces this 5 to go west and meet up with this 5. So we got a dead end there too. We have to sneak through here so that these can meet each other, and we can't have a 2x2, so that becomes shaded. Same here, we need a shaded cell there. This 2 can't go north because it would meet all these things, so that's shaded. Can't go east for the same basic reason, so that's shaded. So it either comes through here and down, or it comes straight down. I actually can see that it couldn't go west, because if it went west and then south, that would mean this was shaded, and it would keep going and hit another dead end, and we would have an isolated area there. So this actually has to go south and stop. This could go north or south at this point. This can't be unshaded because that would break the 2 clue. Same thing with this one, would break that 2 clue. And this can't go west or it would be broken. And this can't be reached by anything, so that is shaded. If this goes east, we've got a problem, because then, well, let's just show you why. If that was unshaded, that means this is shaded and this is shaded to fix that 2 clue. And this one has its other cells, so all these become shaded, and now we've got an isolated area. So that can't be unshaded, which forces this north. Oops, not that one. This one becomes shaded. And this 5 is forced. Can't go east. Can't go north. It's got to go south. 3, 4, 5. This 5 can't go west or east. But could go north or south. This 5 has to go east. This 2 is done. This 2 is also done. And that means that this unshaded area needs to go north to get out. And that finishes up this 2 clue. So this has to keep going north. That finishes up this 5 clue. So this has to escape west. I don't know how we're going to know whether this is... this can't be unshaded because then it would be a dead end and it doesn't have a circle. That's the negative constraint we haven't used yet. So that becomes shaded. Likewise, this can't be a dead end, so it will also have to be shaded. Wonder if there are other places I could have used that before. We have to unshade this to connect the 2 halves of the grid. This can't be a dead end, so shade it. These unshaded cells have to connect to these, so they have to come through this corridor. Avoid a 2 by 2 here. This can't be a dead end. This can't be a dead end. And this must be a dead end, and it does see cells to the west, so it doesn't go north. So this has to come up here, and this has to be a dead end, and we finished that part. So this comes through here. Does it go through here? Probably. We don't know that. Oh yeah, we do know that. Okay, supposing this was shaded. If this were shaded, then our unshaded would come over here. This would be a dead end, and we would never reach these. So this has to come through that way. That finishes off our 2. Now these 2, this can't be a dead end going left, because then these 2 would be connected and wouldn't reach anything else. So this has to go the other direction. Likewise, this has to come up the other direction and close that one off. And that is how we solve a Nurimisaki.